Let's look at the Week 15 injuries that we're tracking. Breece Hall didn't practice again, by the way, with that knee injury, so have a contingency plan ready to go. Hopefully it's Isaiah Davis or Braylon Allen. Alvin Kamara didn't practice again with an illness, although we've seen players come out quickly from that kind of injury designation. Kenneth Walker with the calf injury, Tony Pollard with an ankle, missed the first 2 practices of this week. Didn't seem serious, but now I would closely monitor Tony Pollard. DeAndre Swift with a groin injury, Bucky Irving still with the back.
Yeah, that's another one that you want to monitor. He played last week, but again, is he fully there? Worth noting, you see Mike Evans on this list with a hamstring. He was spotted at practice today, so that's a good sign.
It's a typical – Mike Evans has been doing this for a couple weeks now. You don't see much of him early in the week. He gets the Friday work in. He's good to go. George Pickens isn't playing with the hamstring, as we've said many times. David Njoku with the hamstring. Evan Ingram is out for the year with the shoulder injury, so Evan Ingram will be shut down. Jacksonville's skeleton offense is getting more and more thin.
Brenton Strange time. Let's go.
Yeah, strange being the operative word there.
So.
I think that's also indicative of the fact that this is where the Jags are now. Like, if guys have lingering injuries, they're just not going to play. Like, you're just going to shut them down. They want the number one pick.
For sure. I mean,
well,
but
they're probably not going to get the number one pick after last week.
They'll throw Brian Thomas out there, and Parker Washington maybe gets more looks as well if you're in a deeper league. But you'd have to be pretty desperate. You'd have to be grape slapper level of desperate to consider anyone.
DeVito. Cutlet desperate.
Cutlet,
Is there a more interesting non-quarterback you could play over him in that spot on your roster?
No, it's like
he could have a 3-point day.
I know. I need the upside, though. I got to play the quarterback.
I get it.
My alternatives are like Kate Otten.
No, I get it.
I think I'm going to have to start Travis Etienne over. That's my other decision, Otten or Etienne. My team was a juggernaut. Where are all my good players? I had Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason was lighting the world on fire.
I think you upset the fantasy gods.
You know what I need?
Your hubris upset the fantasy gods. You hadn't won anything, and yet you were still bragging like you had. You didn't act like you'd been there before. You know what I mean? You got to just sort of calm, like me. You know how I'm always I'm super low key about it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hubris, or at least the word that sounds like hubris, I need the tubular. To get it done. I need him to put me on his back, on his sweet chubby back, and carry me to fantasy goodness. I need 28 points out of the tubular.
That's fair.
That's all I've got left.
That's a fair ask.
He could do it against Dallas.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, no, it's not insane.
You laugh about the tubular. I'm not laughing. I'm dead serious.
He might have 26 touches.
I need it. I need them all.
I have the tubular on that dynasty team where I'm playing Mike Glay, and so I'm hoping Hubbard also has a monster game to make up for my Cooper Cup 0.
Joe Mixon as well. Little 4 touchdown performance out of ISO Joe would be appreciated too. So
one last bit of injury news. It's good news. Hollywood Brown with his shoulder injury, he's received clearance to practice. Matthew, probably not fantasy relevant, more NFL relevant.
yeah, but another weapon for Mahomes, which is good if you've been rostering Mahomes, you know, and starting him. So I think that's good, and I don't mind picking him up and just to sort of see. You know, like if he has a significant role here, you'd want to see it first before you start him, especially in a fantasy playoff game. But talented player, and if he has a significant role, right from the get-go, okay.
You just watch. This is his second year in the row. The Chiefs suck all season long. I know they have one loss. They haven't been good this season. Now they're going to win the Super Bowl. Again,
of course they are.
Everyone's going to get healthy and they'll win.
Some top waiver ads. These guys are available in at least 50% of leagues right now. We talked about
as the injuries are going along.
Desperation
if you just need
plays.
If you're like a Jay Croucher.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers against Jacksonville. Jameis Winston just because of the sheer volume that he throws at. Isaiah Davis we brought up because Breece Hall is not looking better by the day.
15% target share and 48% of the Jets' rushes with Hall out last week for Isaiah Davis.
Cedric Tillman is back in a limited capacity. He was in concussion protocol for a couple weeks.
Yeah, but his four previous full games, he was averaging over 18 fantasy points per game with Winston. Hard to say whether, now that Judy's sort of taken over that role. You see Elijah Moore on that screen as well. Chiefs have allowed the most yards and most receptions in the slot. Elijah Moore is the slot guy for famous Jameis. And Sincere McCormick, who is actually a running back and not a Key and Peele sketch character, got 17 of the Raiders' 19 running back carries last week. He's averaging over 5 yards per carry this season. And Antonio Pierce came out and said, that's our guy. He might be this year's Zamir White, just a guy they ride down the stretch. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.